As a bit of an old head, elder millennial that grew up through the 90s, I grew up witnessing the Disney animation renaissance that took place with movies like Tarzan and The Lion King and Little Mermaid and Aladdin and all of those kind of films growing up. I also got to witness a lot of big-time non-Disney animated films that came up during that time as well. American Tail, Anastasia, The Iron Giant, Prince of Egypt, and many more, Balto. And basically, that's to say all of those movies had one thing in common. They were 2D animated. A lot of things growing up were 2D animated because CGI was not a thing. Computer animation was not a thing. Now, I know technologies change, people adapt, people change in their tastes and how they make movies and shows and television, all that. But it's kind of sad to see an art form completely get cast away for no reason other than finances. I mean, that's really the only reason, in my opinion. 2D animation does really not exist outside of anime nowadays. If you're talking about like big time feature length movies, Disney used to be the standard bearer with this. Even though I mentioned those other ones that came out of Universal and Fox and whatever else, Disney was still the standard bearer and the innovators. Even movies that they cast aside that they didn't really care about and they kind of buried, like Treasure Planet, which in my opinion, very underrated. But even stuff like that was 2D animation, but it was very innovative in the art style. Even movies that bombed still had beautiful artwork. This is not Disney, but the movie Titan AE, if anybody remembers that. And it's like I said, it's all been cast aside. And I wanted to talk about an article today with a former director and animator who talked about this and his opinions on the medium moving forward. This is out of Collider, who says, a Goofy movie and Tarzan director explains what makes 2D animation so special. Written by Aidan Kelly, if anybody cares, but...
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
The world of feature-length animation continues to thrive. Films like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Predator: Killer of Killers, and the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movies pushing the boundaries of what can be done with CG animation. However, the main caveat of there being such an emphasis on CG animation is that traditional hand-drawn 2D animation has been left in the dust. Yes, Japan and other Asian countries have been keeping the medium alive with hit movies like the record-breaking Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which I still need to watch. I haven't been able to watch it yet. And there have been a handful of other Western examples like the breathtakingly beautiful Klaus. Decent movie. I wasn't blown away by it, but yeah, the animation is beautiful. Still, 2D animation has practically disappeared from mainstream animation, and one Disney director has thoughts. We recently had the brilliant opportunity to speak with Kevin Lima, I don't know, the director behind A Goofy Movie, Tarzan, Enchanted, and more, ahead of his panel celebrating A Goofy Movie's 30th anniversary at the upcoming annual Lightbox Expo. Man, I feel really old that the Goofy Movie, or A Goofy Movie, is turning 30. I know I'm 35.
I'm old!
Man, it just blows me away. That is a forgotten classic, by the way. I think people are starting to kind of bring it back that are my age, that are like, hey, you remember the Goofy Movie? You remember how awesome that was? Anyway, this whole video is just an excuse to talk about the awesomeness of A Goofy Movie. But anyway, he has opinions on the topic, expressing his thoughts on not only traditional 2D animation going the way of the dodo, but also how making an animated movie today is different from making an animated movie in the 90s or aughts. What he said was, what I equate it to is when each new technology comes along, or it has been this way, we haven't abandoned what came before it. That's very true. What I find very disappointing about this moment in time is that here comes CGI, and suddenly there's no use for 2D animation. It's kind of just put aside. And it really is just a way of making a movie, right? I love the imperfection of 2D animation. That's what I love about it, is that those movies breathe in a different way than a CG movie. Yeah, the art style is very different. It's very beautiful, and it's more intimate, in my opinion. No shade on CG animation, CGI. I love a lot of CGI. I love various CGI animated movies, and CGI can enhance even 2D animation. We've seen that since the dawn of CGI. It makes 2D animation better, but in my opinion, at the end of the day, 2D animation is just more intimate and personal, and it breathes in a different way. It has a different distinctive style. You see it, and you're like, oh, that's this company who had it made. Like, you could tell the Disney animation back in the day, or you could tell, oh, that's a certain artist. Oh, these people must have made that. Now, I see so much of the CGI animated stuff that just all looks ambiguous. It all looks the same, like it got put on a conveyor belt. It could be anybody.
I've been reviewing your work. Quite frankly, it stinks.
The art style is actively getting uglier. I think a lot of companies, I swear, have a competition with each other on who can make the ugliest animation of all time. I think this is 2D animated, so it kind of cuts against my point. But there's a new Bat Family movie, or show, I should say, of Batman and sidekicks and whatever, and the Bat Family. The ugliest animation style I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just hideous. In any way it could be hideous. It's disgusting.
Ew, 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 ew.
But we've got crap like that just pumping out nowadays. And it's sad. There's no beautiful not a lot of beautiful 2D animation once you get outside of anime. So occasionally you'll get a Klaus, and that's about it. But either way, to finish up what he said, but I'll tell you what I miss the most. And it has to do with the way in which stories are told. I love the older movies because I get to come to the movies as a participant, and I get to discover the theme, and I get to unwrap the mystery of what the movie's about. I find that so many of the movies now want to tell me what to think. They don't want me to as a participant. They want to hammer me with the psychological themes. I miss being an active participant in the process. That's really what I miss even more than the medium. Yeah, I've complained about that so many times where I'm watching things and they're just beating me over the head with the messaging. Messaging first, entertainment second. Be it from the left wing, the right wing, Christian, atheistic, whatever. Trust that I'm not a complete 70 IQ mouth-breathing moron. Just trust that when I go to see your film. And my favorite one is when they make an insanely stupid movie where they're trying to make a point and they completely miss the mark and the movie's just terrible in every way. Shows do this too. And when people are like, man, that really was awful. And they're like, no, you just don't get it. You're too dumb to understand the complexity and the themes. Like, no, it's just really poorly written. Like, somebody from grade school could have made that. Like he said, I just really, I like the things that take you on a journey. I'm not saying that doesn't exist nowadays, just too many times nowadays. Writers themselves are not smart enough to weave this stuff in organically, so they just beat you over the head with it. That's why I think Doctor Who went downhill so badly, because they don't trust their audience to pick up on, like, the themes, the comparisons, whatever. They're just like really in your face. Hey, do you get it? You get it now? It's right here in front of you. Do you get it? Like, yes, you don't have to jangle shiny keys in front of me. But either way, past that, getting back to the animation, again, I'm not dogging on CGI. I'm not dogging on, like, I love Pixar and the Pixar animation style. That's all, computer animated stuff. And a lot of that's very beautiful. And I miss the days of CGI helping to enhance 2D animation. They still do that today with a lot of anime films and a lot of anime shows. the Western, and I, Klaus was that way as well, and not to keep going back to that one, but that's just like the most immediate example I can think of. But there needs to be more art, like pride in artistic style, not just, hey, look at this, doesn't this look fancy and weird and whatever? Like, no, it looks the same or terrible. The last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, not just the fact that it was a Seth Rogen produced pile of garbage, but it just looked hideous. The art style just looks bad, man. And there's a lot of beautiful CGI out there, but I want the care and the love and the intimacy poured into 2D animation. Even just classic things like a Goofy movie wasn't a beautifully drawn artistic masterpiece of a film. It was just entertaining, good, wholesome family fun with some good messages in it, and it was funny and fun and safe for the family. I miss stuff like that, but we used to get good stuff like Atlantis, The Lost World, or I think that's what it was called, Atlantis, that movie. I forget the tagline of it, sorry. And like Treasure Planet, yeah, it was a updated remake of a movie of a book, whatever, but still, it was beautiful, and they made a big deal out of the animation style. And even as a kid, I was like, I like the movie. I wasn't blown away by the story itself. It's fine. Treasure Island is fine, but the animation style is what had me go whoa. And stuff like Avatar is CGI, but the first time I saw it, I went whoa, because it was new, it was beautiful, and you could tell they put care into it. Now it's the same thing over and over. There's no innovation anymore, in my opinion. But let me know what you think down in the comments section. My name is Troy. This is Marks on Media. If you could please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.